I thank God that God directed me that I had to put things right is when I can live with Him. I started with my parents, children, grandparents, teachers, and when people looked at me and saw that I was doing that, putting things right and asking for forgiveness, they looked at me and they told me that I was out of my mind. So my viewer, that madness which fell on me when I was a standard 4, a standard 3 in Nyakach, Central Nyakach, I'm still mad until today because of the salvation. Because somebody can see me talking in the media, telling them that I was a thief, stealing food when I was sent with my grandmother. So my viewer, today we have read something, a passage which Paul wrote to the Colossians. And today it is writing to me and you, my viewer, that let us set our minds to the things above. This letter Paul was writing to the believers like me who claim that they are born again. That is the letter which Paul was writing to them, you my viewer. That when you claim that you have Jesus, the way I'm claiming, is telling me, Dennis, you need to set your eyes to the things. You need to set your eyes and your mind on the things which are above, the things which are unseen, and remove your eyes on the things, on earthly things which are seen. They die. People build houses, people buy cars, people do everything material, but eventually they leave them. They are meaningless, vanity. But Paul was telling the Corinthians, the Colossians. Now he's telling me that, Dennis, after you have received myself, after you have received me as your personal savior, you should set your mind to the things above. That is how it started, that since then you have been raised with Christ. Set your mind, set your heart on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of Father. So my viewer, today Paul is talking to the Christians. He's talking to a believer like me, like you. That he's telling us, he's telling me, Dennis, you died and your life is now hidden with a Christ in God. That when I received Jesus as my personal savior in 1975, he's telling me that I died and lived a life which is hidden with Christ. And then he's telling me that when Christ, who is your life, appeared, then you will also appear with him in the glory. So my viewer, where the Colossians say, put your name there because you are now the person Paul is writing this letter to. That your life, which you surrendered to God, see the day when you received him at the cross of Jesus Christ, is telling you that life, if you can live that way, then Jesus will appear to you in his glory. So he's telling me that the way I've walked with Jesus since I was a child until now I'm a Mzee, he's telling me that I need to walk that way. He's telling me in verse 6 that put to death, therefore, whatever belongs to the earthly things. That is earthly nature, sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, and even adulteries. Because he says that the wrath of God is here, is coming to us for the people who refuse not to put things which are earthly to death. Because people want to receive salvation, but the way they were, they want to stay the same. The only difference these days, that if you get somebody and you tell him that I'm saved, I'm born again, he's also saying that he's born again. But that the deeds which he was doing before is